Welcome to the Hawks Nest, the home for all your Hawks and NBL news. I'm your host, Glenn Saville. Today we have all the news to come out of round 14, including the latest from the Hawks clash with the Cairns Taipans. Then on the panel, I'll be joined by NBL commentator Troy Pilon and Nat Sullivan from andthefoul.net. Now, let's take a look at all the top stories from around the league. The Hawks have gone down in a thriller to the Cairns Taipans 79-77 after leading at half-time by 16 points. A buzzer beater from Dimitri McCamey sealed the win for the Taipans and gave the Hawks their first loss of the new year. The result means the Taipans leapfrogged the Hawks into fifth, with the Kings remaining in fourth place after they beat Melbourne. On to better news for the Hawks, with Tyson Demos being discharged from hospital on Sunday morning after suffering a nasty leg infection. He was in attendance to support the boys against Cairns and is now working to be back for the next Hawks home game this Sunday against the Tigers. In other injury news, the Taipans' Cameron Tragar remains sidelined until the end of the month after rolling his ankle on New Year's Eve. Meanwhile, MRI scans have cleared Perth big man Matty Knight of any significant damage after suffering multiple head knocks recently. Knight hopes to return to the court for their next game against the Tigers. The New Zealand Breakers have signed Casey Frank to a short-term contract to cover injury concerns. The former Tall Black, who had been commentating Breakers games until getting the call-up, gives some needed relief for the Breakers following an ankle injury to Alex Pledger. NBL CEO Fraser Neal has flagged that the league will look to double in the next 5 years. Neal was in Hobart last week to talk about the possibility of a team based in Tasmania starting from 2015-16, but went on to say that the NBL was looking to expand to 12 and eventually 16. The question of whether the league should move back to winter has been raised again, with Hall of Famer Ken Cole joining the debate, declaring the move was essential to allow elite Aussie players to come back and play in the NBL. Andrew Gaze and Cal Bruton have also expressed their desire to move back to winter. Basketball players and fans alike have been hard at work, all in the name of charity in recent weeks. The Wildcats donated $1 for every ticket sold for Friday night's game against the Breakers to raise money for local bushfire victims. And the Hawks game against the Cairns was dedicated to raising funds and awareness for Ronald McDonald House charity. Meanwhile, the Hawks pit crew raised over $4,000 for the RSPCA and Camp Quality during a 24-hour free throw charity event. Great job, boys. Now, let's have a look at all the results from round 14 and the ladder standings so far. While the Hawks Nest has been on hiatus for the past few weeks, the Hawks players have been out and about, getting involved in a bunch of different activities off the court. We recently caught up with the boys to ask them about what they have been up to over the past few weeks.
Went on the biplanes. It was a little scary for me at first after seeing, because I was the third one to go, as Tyson was the other guy, and Gruber went with us. And Tyson went first. He kind of tried to scare us and tell us how it was going, but it was a fun experience. I'm kind of scared of heights, but I faced my fears a little bit, and it was fun. It was fun to do.
I haven't done a whole lot of the adrenaline stuff before. I have skydived before here in Wollongong, but that's really about it. So the biplanes was a lot of fun, getting up in the air and seeing a bit of the coast and having a bit of fun doing it.
We went out to the farm beach and went surfing. That was the first time I'd been out there. It was really cool. We went out as a team, and it was a tough go around for me. It was hard at first for me to try to get up. Actually, Kevin, one of our other imports, he got up and stood after his third wave, which was pretty cool. But it was a good experience. It was a lot of fun with the guys.
Yeah, the 3-on-3 competition was great. We got out, we saw a bunch of players, local guys, strutting their stuff in the mall, and it takes me back to my roots back home, the 3-on-3 contest back in America, because you could always find a game back home. So it was a lot of fun and a lot of quality ball actually. So it was fun. Yeah,
we just came up for the Ronald McDonald Foundation. It's just just trying to support and do as much as we can and get involved with them. You know, they've done a lot for us, obviously, with the sponsorship and the help that they've done.
As far as we go back and we flip burgers or we hand out food, as far as just letting our city know that we support them and thank them for supporting us and all like that. I mean, we had a couple people come in. It was pretty great. We intertwined with how they work and how we work, so it was nice. By the way, this is Rally and this is Baxter. You know, we're going to say hi. How you doing?
Good. There you go.
Okay, it was pretty good.
Welcome back to the show. Time to take an in-depth look at the issues around the league. We have NBL commentator Troy Pilon and from andthefoul.net, Nat Sullivan. Welcome to the show, boys. We are going to get in-depth with some big issues. One of them is the word around the traps. Shane Hills had a little run-in with an owner of the Kings. A pretty interesting topic. Should owners get involved in what the coach is doing on the court?
No.
No? I agree. Totally, I agree.
Yeah.
But what went down? What's the word?
Without mentioning names, he all got called out by one of the Kings owners courtside at the recent loss in Sydney. Basically he demanded a certain player gets substituted into the game, and Hill turned around and told him where to go, pretty much in front of everyone.
I can imagine Hammer saying something like that. Yeah.
And then, this owner just went on to talk about how much, he pays everything, and so therefore everyone should listen to him.
Yeah, no, I think he's slightly out of line there, Truckee. What do you think?
Well, like we've heard it before, different situations in different teams, owners having their opinion on the way the team should play, but maybe those conversations can go on behind closed doors, right?
Particularly not in front of fans.
Fans, all players. The coach, luckily Shane Hill's obviously a pretty strong character, but can lose a bit of credibility for the coach as well if your owner starts to call you out.
And that took place before they went on a nice little 2-game winning streak. Yep. So they're back in the winner's circle. They've had a couple of good wins. That win in Adelaide and the most recent win as well.
Yeah, they're playing pretty good ball, but it's still kind of a team without any identity, really. I mean, is it Sam Young's team? Is it Ben Madgen's team? Is it AJ's team?
Do they still need a legitimate point guard?
Yeah, probably. And I still think they still need to go through AJ for everything. He's the best big man in the league, and if you have the best big man in the league and you milk him, everyone else has success off it pretty much. Opens up the lane, opens up outside shots, opens up everything.
Yeah, I mean, they went, especially when the Hawks played them, they went to him a fair bit, but he didn't get many shots because the Hawks did a pretty good job at double teaming him. But I think the last couple of games they've probably found their place a little bit. Still got a long way to go, obviously, but obviously better than when they were playing the Hawks. So I think they're a team sitting right on the floor there, and they're someone the Hawks need to catch up to.
And a good win over a team that's trying to hang in there as well as the Tigers. They've been a little bit up and down as well.
Yeah, they have. They're a good team, and obviously they're sitting at third right now. So for them to beat that team is a good effort.
Was that a message on your phone? Because you owe me a slab of beer. If it goes off in here, you owe me a slab of beer. Thanks very much. We have brought this topic up a number of times, the flopping, and I see the commentary, it always comes up. What's going on with our league now and the flopping? Do you want to be known as a flopper? There's a Twitter feed now called Sean Floppage. Is it that bad?
Yeah, you never want to be known as a flopper. Occasionally, you will overemphasise contact, but consistently to do it's not ideal. But for, that's something I think the referees need to look at as well. Not just giving sort of warnings for flops, but looking at video footage and looking at what players do it, and we can see they can see where they have to make the calls and where they don't have to.
Have
make
we
the
seen
calls.
a tech foul from it? Yeah, we've seen a few.
I think
warnings.
Tyson might have been called for one earlier this year.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, but I think that's about it.
That's how
flopping Tyson. What's worse, the flop or the ref that is not calling it, or?
Well, sometimes those flops they call on defence are kind of hard because sometimes a guy does extend the arm, and as a junior you're taught to react to that. So a lot of the times the flops we're talking about are offensive flops as well. So that's something they need to look at.
But I mean, if you fall over like 20 times a game, like a certain person that has that Twitter feed,
who'd want to fall over that much?
I mean, there's something that's sus there. That's kind of probably why when Redditch broke his hip, everyone thought it was bullcrap and told him to get up because
you had a legitimate reason to stay down on that one. Expansion of the NBL, it's talked about all the time. Fraser Neal's been down in Tasmania, hasn't been a team down there for a while, but word of possibly in the next couple of years a team entering the league from down there.
Yeah, it'd be great to get. I mean, I don't think any professional sports apart from cricket really happens down there, but yeah, it'd be good. According to a couple of Tassie boys, Adam Gibson and Chris Golding, apparently basketball's still well alive down there and grows every year, even since the NBL left. So it'd be good to get another team, but where they play in Launceston or Hobart, and apparently that state is really divided when it comes to those sort of two major sort of cities. So I can't really see just a one, team that would play in both of those cities. It'd be one or the other, I think.
Yeah, I think it'd be great to expand the NBL back into Tasmania, but other teams would be teams like Brisbane. Obviously is a big one, huge market there, and 2 or 3 million people live in that southeast corner of Queensland, and also I think Canberra needs to be looked at again.
And another team you played for?
Another team I played for. I'd kiss of death through a lot of teams, Canberra and Brisbane, and luckily Wollongong's still here though, so that's good.
And the Hawks have had some pretty good results up until the loss against Cairns, a game-winning shot by Dimitri McCamey. They've had 3 overtime games in a row, won 2 of those, which is pretty spectacular. It just looks like, with the Hawks at the moment, it's all coming down to the last play of the game, and 50% of them in the last 4 games, not too bad.
Yeah, that would have been devastating the other night for them. I mean, Cairns just kept eating away at their lead in the second half.
16-point lead.
Yeah, and you could just see them slowly coming back, and the pressure was right on the Hawks because it was at half time. It was their game to lose. So, very exciting game nonetheless with the change of leads, but disappointing, obviously.
Yeah, awesome finish. But yeah, the Hawks they just couldn't get anything done. I think they had 6 points in the third quarter until they ended up finishing with 10th for the quarter, but the last 4 points came in the last 20 seconds or something ridiculous.
They did really struggle to score in that.
Was it the first half? Yeah, the first half they got 50 points or 51 points or whatever, and just struggled the second half big time.
What do you think about Kevin Teagues off the bench? Should he still be coming off the bench?
Well, I know
20 points on the road in Cairns, 27 at home. He's probably still going to play the minutes regardless.
Yeah, you look at the minutes he plays, and Gordy obviously likes to get the subs in and out, but the minutes he plays are equivalent to any starter around. So I don't think that's too much of an issue. And when he does come on, he seems to get the ball straight away and look to score. And 5 minutes into the game, that can be devastating for an opposition if he's able to do that. So I have no real issue with him not starting.
But then I guess you need firepower off the bench. If not him, then I guess
he seems to create something every time he comes in.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, Timmy Conrad's good for what he does. He's probably better as a starter than off the bench because at least he gets that he gets a little bit warm and he comes in and out of games. Whereas Kevin Teagues just comes on and just provides instant offense. And you really need
if anything, the Hawks going to have someone in there for an award at the end of the year.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Well, he'd have to be.
The thing is, he can make plays. The second last play of the game when the Hawks tied it up, the ball got inbounded to Kevin Teagues. And I was thinking, well, what are you giving him the ball for? You'd be giving it to Rodney. He was open as well, but Kevin came up with that play, albeit Dimitri McCamey came down and wins the game in the very next play, but he's making some pretty awesome plays out there.
Yeah, we could be sitting here right now if McCamey hadn't made that shot, talking about a Hawks victory and on the back of Kevin Teagues. So it doesn't look like a lot of opposition players know how to guard him right now. He's got some very unorthodox moves. He leans into the plays. He's got a very quick crossover. So he's a hard man to guard. I wouldn't have liked to guard.
And speaking of making plays, McCamey made some pretty tough plays down the stretch too.
Oh, he did. I thought he showed the way just into that third quarter. He played very well. He started to take the ball a bit more. He didn't look like he wanted to in the first half, but in the second half, he really took control and started to get his teammates involved as well.
I was surprised he had about 3 charges on him. I was surprised he had the confidence really in the fourth quarter to take the ball anyway, really, because refs were calling anything. There was, I wouldn't say there was flop issues around,
there weren't flops.
But yeah, I'm surprised he had the confidence really to take it down the lane at any point after that. But yeah, hit a big time shot, big time player. I mean, he's used to that. He played in the NCAA, he in the Sweet 16, whatever, and he hits big shots. So.
Yeah, no, he's got a pretty good input there. Basketball in Adelaide, is it back? 6,000 people there. Obviously, it's been in Perth for a while. Opening up a new section of the stadium, we'll just open up another 3,000 seats or something and just fill them up for 13,000.
Yeah, maybe it's making its way across, 13,000 in Perth and slowly across Adelaide. And a couple of months' time, maybe it come across here. But it's good to see getting those sort of crowds. It makes it exciting, not only for the people there, but on television. It looks it looks a lot better when the crowd's there. The game looks more important, and you like to watch it on television.
Clearly, the fans coming back with their success, though.
Yeah.
Jumping back on board.
Oh,
Yeah, I think a lot of them were very vocal when with Marty Clark, and a lot of them didn't agree with whatever he was doing, and so
getting wooden spoons probably didn't agree with that.
But it's good. The NBL needs, they need every team to be successful, but they need Adelaide to be successful with that. The fan base there, they're just really intelligent. You can just tell. Like, go to a few games there and just hearing all the comments and just the oohs and ahs and the correct times and everything. You can really tell it's a smart crowd, and NBL need Adelaide to be successful.
Well, they're back there. Let's get them back in the gong. Thanks for coming on the panel, boys. Catch you next week. That's our show, and we'll be back with a new episode next week. This week, the Hawks travel to New Zealand to take on the Breakers on Thursday night before an Australia Day showdown against the Tigers on Sunday. In the meantime, be sure to keep up to date by following us on Facebook and Twitter. I'm Glenn Saville. You've been watching The Hawks Nest. We'll see you next time.